Hi, I'm Adam with IT Professionals of Iowa. This week I want to talk about servers, what they are, what they do. Um, so a server is basically, in its simplest form, a powerful computer. Now, they're typically used for a central location to store data. It's easier to manage that data and back up that data if it's in one place than it is spread out across all of the computers. So you can map a drive on your computer, which connects to the server, and then everybody knows how to access that data if it's shared. Now you can also set permissions on that, so certain groups or individuals have the access they need and others don't. Now, servers also have higher class hardware, better hardware, and they have redundancy built in. So you can get them with multiple power supplies for backup. If one fails, you have the other one. They also have multiple hard drives, usually set up in a configuration where if one or two fail, it's not a big deal. The rest of them will take over and continue running, and you can swap out that bad drive while the server is still up functioning, typically at a slightly reduced speed, but you can put the new drive in and it will automatically rebuild, and you're back to normal, and nobody knows any different. They also have error correcting RAM. Sometimes there's issues with memory, and they're pretty good about fixing that on the fly. They're also higher powered, so they can handle that load better. So you can go with slightly lower class workstations, still business class, but if you let that server handle most of the load, it allows you to reduce costs slightly on the desktops and workstations. They're also good for Active Directory, which allows you to manage permissions and logons and policies and all of those things. Again, that's another compliance-related thing that a server really helps you manage. You can do auditing on files and access and logins and things like that to make sure everything is going as it should. You can also set up group permissions, whether it be on shares or other things. Another thing servers are good for is hosting applications, such as QuickBooks. If you have a multi-user QuickBooks environment, it's really best to put that on a server rather than a workstation. Again, servers run higher performance, better hardware, so they can handle that load much better than running QuickBooks on a desktop. Because especially with multi-user mode, if you're running QuickBooks on a desktop or another laptop, and you have multiple people connecting to it, that user is going to have a poor experience because their machine is working really hard to handle that database and get that data out, and the machines really aren't meant for that. So that's really what servers are used for. Now, there's multiple options. In the simplest form, you can have what's called a NAS, or a network attached storage, and that has minimal functions. It's really good just for file stores. Especially if you don't need Active Directory with all the management for like a small office. It's just storing files. There's also cloud-hosted servers and virtual servers. It really depends on your environment. For most environments, we recommend a server, whether it be cloud-hosted or physical in-site, over at NAS. The network-attached storage devices, the hardware, really, the quality isn't usually as high as a server. And once you get up to the level of where the price point of a good quality redundant hardware NAS, you're really in the server price range anyway a lot of times, or the gap isn't as great. And so it's beneficial to have the extra features of a full server. And it's also good, you want to have a 4 to 5 year replacement cycle on those devices just to make sure that they're up to the new workload, new operating systems, and updates and those things. If you have any questions on your server, or if you think you've outgrown your current solution, or you have your data's a mess and kind of all over the place on different machines and you'd like a centralized place for that, send us an email, support@itproiowa.com. Give us a call, 319-227-7000. We'd be happy to help you out and select a solution that works best for your company. See you next week.